Comfort kills growth, Capricorn, and it's time for you to take a risk. Hi, welcome to Zero's Journey. I'm Madeline, and a Capricorn stellium, by the way, so not spoken from a high horse. If anything, from perhaps the same mountain ledge where you find yourself standing. This is from the Threads of Fate deck, Capricorn, and yesterday when I was doing some readings, I saw this card and thought, wouldn't it be funny if that came through as the Capricorn card one month? And here we find ourselves with the only card in the Threads of Fate deck depicting not just a goat, but a mountain goat out on a crystal ledge. Das you, or das ought to be you, if you want to be served well. Spirit is saying, listen, risks are different for everybody. I'm not asking you to, tightrope walk across the Grand Canyon. For you, a risk might be asking out somebody that you've been interested in for a long time. For you, taking a risk might be leaving the current job because it's not satisfying you, knowing that there's something else out there. What are you afraid to go for? What are you afraid to goat for? Click X, unsubscribe, unfollow. I know. Block, delete. I understand. Okay, Capricorn. Risk, reward, right? Risk, reward. Is this worth what I could get? Is it worth not getting it to know that I've tried? What is your thing? What is the thing that you're afraid of? What is the thing that you're afraid to start, to stop? Spirit is saying it's different for everybody listening. Okay, let's get a little more information. Let's pull some tarot cards. Let's get into the story of your month. Spirit, where does Capricorn find themselves this month? Where are they? What's ahead? What's behind? What's going on the inside? And how is that manifesting in reality? What are the pitfalls? What are the potentials? What's going on around Capricorn that they can tap into or skip over, depending. What does Capricorn need to know for their highest good this month, Spirit? The month of August, for Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Rising, and dominant folks. Okay. Take risk. Take risk. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Spirit saying. For Capricorn in the month of August. There it is. Okay. Let's see what we got here. This is totally Spirit being funny and accurate. And they're saying, Capricorn, you know that you are your worst and most vicious critic. So even if you tried and took a risk and failed at something, or created something that was below your stratospheric standards or whatever, nobody could have as cruel or cutting of feedback or comment left or whatever as what you do to yourself. So Spirit's like, if we're talking about that being a risk, no shit, throw that shit aside. Like, nobody can hold a candle to you when it comes to negative self-talk, right? Wow. Yes. Oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Take risk. Take risk. Sitting right in your future. We're going to talk about it. I'm so sorry. And please forgive the decibel levels, Capricorn. I'm a very excited person. I'm curious if any of you have Sagittarius placements. I'm sensing a little bit of crossover. So if you do, you might want to go and check out that reading. It may fill in some blanks or knit things together a little bit more for you. You have an important choice to make in August, and it feels like the quote-unquote risk is at least somewhat centered around that choice. The center of your reading, a couple of major arcana cards. Justice, crossed by the Empress, creative, receiving, just, merciful. Justice is about bringing things into balance, and I feel like Capricorn, that things have been out of balance. The moon is sitting in your past, confusion, anxiety, sleepless nights, potentially feeling really confounded and lost. That's what I'm kind of hearing. Like, I don't know what's next. Like, my marriage just ended. I don't know what's next. Or like, I'm having a fucking midlife crisis. I don't know what's next, or etc. Good time to mention, Capricorn, pardon me, fizzle. You know that these are general readings, so I'm getting a few different messages for the different Capricorn folks that are going to listen to this. But I just want to say, if those of you that are like, I'm in a great relationship and I'm happy, like, I don't want to know, I love my job. If something doesn't resonate with you, if you're one of these Capricorns that's like, I'm doing great in those areas, then like, don't worry about it. That is totally not for you. If something, you know, gives you that like that little ringing bells and feeling, then you need to maybe search into yourself and into the reading a little bit more. But if something doesn't resonate, let it pass on by, knowing it's for some other Capricorn. But there's been chaos, and Spirit's using that word. And for a Capricorn, Capricorns and chaos, like, Capricorns are here for the order, the discipline, the sequential numbers, the making sense, justice, right? You've been needing to make some sense of what's going on inside of you. Four of Swords is a card of needing peace, quiet, tranquility, reflection time, potentially prayer or meditation time. Doesn't have to be literal prayer or meditation. For some people, taking a long bath, taking a long walk, even like doing a brain dump and then taking a nap. You know what I'm saying? So often we're digging for like the answer or the, you know, the next paragraph or whatever, the content, the idea, the thing. And we would benefit so much more from sitting back and relaxing and letting our mind wander and rest, and then, you know, waking up and having kind of that eureka moment, as so often happens. Or like, you finally walk away from the computer, you watch a TV show, eat a meal, and you're in the shower, and when all of a sudden, this is the fucking next line of dialogue, or this is the answer to that equation I was looking for, okay? You benefit from rest. Ironically, paradoxically, taking time to rest and to take space and to take ease is going to propel you forward. Trust. Listen, when I said what's going on like on the inside and how is that manifesting in reality, here are the actual cards for that. What's going on inside? Four of Swords, rest, relax, rejuvenate, reflect. Really important. How is that going to manifest in reality? When you take the time to get your body rested and your thoughts in order, thus the Four Swords hung up neatly on the wall. The Chariot, you are able to sort your conscious and unconscious desires and fears and pull them in the same direction. The Chariot is a card of willpower. This is what I want. This is how I'm going to get it. This is where we're going. Like, you hope and you fear, we're moving in this direction. So, important time to note that the two Sphinxes, often depicted as a white and a dark horse on the on regular Chariot cards, right, symbolize the fact that we have Spirit is putting it this way. Imagine that you have a chariot, okay? Chariot requires two horses to pull it. You've got two stables out back. You got a white horse, you got a black horse. So many of us want to go out there and feed that white horse, give it crystal clear water, pet it, groom it, clip it, take care of it, talk to it, give it carrots, all the things. And when it comes to that black horse, that shadow side, that darkness we have, darkness not meaning evil, not meaning badness, darkness meaning confusion, mystery, chaos, things in us that are wild, things in us that get triggered, aspects of us and characteristics that we don't necessarily consider to be the most palatable, and we would rather keep them hidden from everybody. And guess what happens when we try to hide things from everybody? Eventually we manage to hide them from ourselves, and they'll fucking grab us by the ankles and pull us under when we're not looking. I'm just saying. So, please don't forget the dark horse in your stable that also deserves to be loved and fed and appreciated and groomed and nourished. When you take care of your fear, when you take care of your insecurity or jealousy or greed or whatever, your dark your less palatable, your less desirable desires are, the more it can actually pull you in the direction of what you want. Okay, I'm afraid that if I get really successful, people are gonna make fun of me. Let's come back to risk reward. Well, if I was making, you know, 6 figures doing the thing I really want to do, and I had to deal with reading 50 negative comments every month, could I deal with like making 50 grand a month and reading 50 negative comments? I could deal with that. Like, okay, well then let's go. Do you know what I'm saying? You understand? Like, it's a little practice. It's a little exercise you can do with yourself. Maybe part of your 4 of Swords, you know, brain dump, getting your thoughts in order practice could be, what are my worst case scenario things? And I know that can sound a little strange, especially when Capricorn can tend to be cast as kind of like a negative sign in the first place, right? Like a sign that notices what's not working and like doesn't have a lot of fun sometimes, right? I would disagree, but that's a whole other video. You actually benefit from taking a good hard look at, like, yeah, well, what am I afraid of? What is the worst case scenario of me taking the risk that I want to take? Asking out this person I want to ask out. They say no, it's really awkward, and maybe the whole relationship dissolves. Risk, reward. Am I willing to risk the friendship or the embarrassment or whatever the risk part is, right? In order to ask out this person that I think is really great and might be like a love of my life type situation or whatever. Ask yourself and really work out the equation. I'm not telling you to take the risk no matter what. I'm telling you to do the risk reward equation and then be like, okay, now I'll do whatever seems, whatever makes sense to me. I will make the choice that when I put it through my Capricorn computer with a little extra, you know, the adding on the side of the equation, take a risk. The future, lest you forget. The Fool, walk off the cliff. Reminder, my favorite Stoic philosopher, Epictetus, said, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Don't take any baggage with you. Just go. Get in over your head. You're better at it than you might be giving yourself credit for. Big fucking surprise. Big fucking surprise. Capricorn people and underestimating themselves or denigrating what they're good at, or, you know, like expecting more from themselves than is like physically or humanly possible. Typical. Typical. Listen, Capricorn, I roast you because I love you and because I am you. In the place where you find yourself. I love this because this tells me, Capricorn, that a lot of you are going to take this to heart, whether you hear this video or not. Like, August is going to be a month where a lot of you decide, like, you know what? I'm putting my fucking skill to work. I'm going to grow my money. I'm going to grow what I'm good at. I want to grow what I'm doing. 8 of Pentacles is a card, not just of like I said, growing skills and growing money, but specifically of growing the skills and the money that you want, that bring you joy. It's a joyful day's work. It's like the apprentice who is on the verge of becoming the master. And you know, you know what apprentices who want to become masters have to do, right? They have to dive in. They have to be confronted with challenges. They have to recognize that comfort kills growth, and that when they push their edges, they find new edges. They find new boundaries within themselves. They find they are bigger and more expansive than they had previously seen. You are being offered, I'll say offered, it may not feel fun all the time, because having a hanged one moment, having a moment where it feels like the world is turned upside down, or alternatively, everything is put on pause and you're just like, okay, so I'm just hanging here. All I can do is kind of reflect on the situation and look around. If that is so, then take the moment. Take the moment. Learn everything that you can. Learn everything that you can about the terrain, about the tree that you're hung up from, whatever. Learn everything that you can. There's an epiphany coming to you. There's an epiphany coming to you when you stop resisting that you're in a weird fucking chaos tunnel, and you start being like, all right, well, let me get a fucking schematic down of what this fucking tunnel's like. Okay, I see that. Does that make sense? Probably not. Listen. It may not make sense, but it's worth your time. The potential, what could happen, depending on the way that you behave, the actions that you take, the perspective that you have this month. When you do as this reading is speaking of, when you make choices, when you take time to rest, rejuvenate, and allow new ideas, new solutions, new opportunities to kind of bubble up to the surface. You know, you're in these quiet waters and something just like a bubble, pop right on the surface, and there it is. Like, there's my solution, or there's my idea. If you're looking for support, if you're wondering if there are people around you who can help you out or give you what you need or point you in the right direction, or whether you will be supported if you take this big risk and walk off this cliff, you will have the support. 10 of Cups indicates it's like friends, family, romantic partners, greater community. You have people gunning for you. You have people cupping for you. Let's put it like that. That's nicer. You have people cupping for you. You have people cheering you on. And the key and the conclusion, another sweet emotional card, Capricorn. Talk about risks. Some of y'all are taking emotional risks. 6 of Cups is reunion. It is sweetness, it is siblings, it is childhood friends, it is past lovers, it is receiving. And a quick reminder that you have the crossing card, the Empress, and the key card, the 6 of Cups. Some of you may even be mothers, whether that's like literal, natural, biological, adoptive, or you're like the nurturer and mother of your like friend group and community. There's appreciation, there's innocence, there is playfulness, and Spirit is saying, part of when they're asking you to take risk, and when they're asking you to, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid, is to embrace that childlike attitude of, you know, like a child does not finger paint because they're trying to be Michelangelo. A child finger paints because they're like, I want red on my hand and right there, that is so fun, and I want blue right here, and this is great, and yellow all across. A masterpiece. It's a masterpiece because I made it. You know what I'm saying? Spirit is saying that about you, Capricorn. Take a risk, make a masterpiece. Oh, I just titled the video. That was easy. Thank you for listening, Capricorn. I really, really hope that this is helpful and that it, you know, pops up in your head as you go about your month and be like, oh shit, take a risk, right? Push, comfort kills growth. I hope that the time you spent here pays for itself many, many times over. If you want to keep hanging out, I've got a Discord, I've got a Patreon where you can get more readings, got social media follows, all that stuff. Or if you ever want to get a personal reading, all that info is in the friendly box below. And if I don't see you, Capricorn, in one of the Sunday vlogs, then I hope I will see you in your September reading. Bye, Cat.